Good morning. Welcome to episode 3 of the Khel Man. This is Tipu, and I have Amit with me. As
This is
all,
Amit.
Amit, I think this is the first recording during the Olympics that you're doing while the game is going on, while today's events are still going on. Usually, you're doing it in the afternoon, my time, evening, your time.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Right. It's a crucial day. So much has happened, and we will do one more at the end of the Olympics to wrap up that we could not wait for the day to be over, man.
yeah, and um, so you might see us looking at some other stuff while this is going on because there might be a live scoring thing, games going on right now that we might be interested in. The most recent thing that just happened was in for us Indian fans, non-resident Indian fans as it is India's hockey bronze. So finally, we get a medal. Srish's last game, bronze in the last Olympics, bronze in this Olympics. I don't know if I could call it a dynasty, especially with Shijesh gone. I don't know. I'm very worried about
Yeah.
that. But kind of, what are your quick thoughts on that, Amit?
No, first of all, congratulations to everybody. It was such a cool thing to see Shrijesh bowing down with full Shashtang Namaskar to the goalpost. Correct? At the end, I don't know. I think I almost choked up. Though it was a bronze, it was a very he is an icon for Indian hockey and Indian sports and Indian public service in general. So it was a very cool moment. And beating, and I was talking about so the things which led to India's win. We have talked in the past that India always gives up goals in the last 5 minutes of each half. This time we gave up 4 goals in the last 5 minutes of each half, and we scored five in the each half. So the whole thing has turned. Now we are net positive in the 5 minutes. That's all it matters. Taking the lead and defending it. I think India did a beautiful job. If we had played at this pace, probably Germany result would have been different because we tried to beat Germany with attack rather than we should not bring up right now the Vinesh Sasaki thing. Wait, 4 minutes 40 seconds, and then Vinesh attacked. That's what India did with Spain. Wait, and attack. Wait, and attack, and it worked very well.
Yeah, and I think in the Germany game, that whole a little bit of that ultra defensive thing towards the last quarter, and then of course scrambling. And the sad part is that we had 2 hits in the Germany game in the last 2 minutes of the game, including the last second of the game. I mean that's
Yeah.
a game at that point, and well, there we are. Uh,
Yep.
so good match for us, obviously in hockey. But just to get back to some of the other Indian victories or lack of it, and without getting into the V word yet, we need to spend some time on it. What did you feel about the rest of the performance? Obviously, we are recording this before the Neeraj javelin event has started, and we covered a little bit of it after the I think our was it the archery thing in the last week's thing. So in that period, we obviously had a few events. What did
So if you remember in our first podcast, we said India will definitely reach seven. And if everything goes right, maybe more. So we are at four right now with Aman Sehrawat, which we called in our podcast last time, and Neeraj to come in next 2 hours, 3 hours.
called
So
Amanda
that,
Sehwag of wrestling in that, right?
yes, with the Virender Sehwag of wrestling. So fingers crossed on that. Overall, our performances have been, look, let me put it this way. We did the totaling yesterday. We were 1, 2, 4, and 11 last year Olympics. 11, 1, 2, 4 are the medals. 11 means last 6 or last 8 in other sports where we were close. As of hockey bronze, we are 0, 0, 4, and 14 now. So we have come way too close, which is a good sign in general. And we have missed out by what, 1 kg for Chanu. We tied for the bronze third place shoot off with Manu Bakar, and she lost in the shoot off. So, and then Dheeraj in the archery mix lost in the bronze medal match. So we had very close shaves. The things where, and he saved archery. Otherwise, archery was very disappointing till that time for us. The things where we have regressed. So there are sports which we have generally moved and we'll cover in the overall wrap up. Things we have regressed: tennis. Tennis restarted in Olympics in 1988. This is the first time, and we have participated in tennis since then. First time we failed to win a single match. Think about it. Even when the tennis was not big for us, we always won a match or two. Even if we won only one medal, which is Leander Pace in 96 Atlanta. So tennis, we definitely have regressed. Athletics, we had Neeraj Chopra in the finals, and we had Avinash Sehgal in the steeplechase finals, at least two finalists. And hopefully one of the relay team, most likely men relay team, has a chance to go to the finals. But medal-wise, nobody else will contend apart from Neeraj Chopra.
And
So that area is little disappointing.
And to add to some of the things that you said, obviously tennis, and we've always, one of the things I always felt that we have done well in tennis, that we have been good enough at the Davis Cup level, not good enough at the Grand Slam level. And Olympics seems just perfect for us because the format is a little bit different. The top players sometimes don't play, or the top players sometimes carry injuries, and they're not used to playing with each other, like the Nadal Alcaraz thing. Like, it's not a real pair in that sense.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with our Davis Cup experience, we've been a little bit easier for us in that sense because we already have a pair that plays together quite frequently.
Yeah,
that's a big disappointment. And then there are the ones like we just said, where like Ashwini, is it Ashwin Sehgal?
Avinash.
Avinash Sehgal, and who's playing. The fact that he's got into the finals is great. And that steeplechase final also was a pretty iconic final in that sense.
Yes.
Kind of gave up on every highlight reel.
Yeah.
The last bit of Conrad's Rooks, right? Sorry, not Conrad, but
Rooks. Yeah, he came second. Yeah.
Came second, leading, came second. But yeah, very exciting last 3 minutes. And sadly, I did not see Avinash Sehgal anywhere near that point. But the fact that he made it to the final is a creditable one. Relay, I think it's 4 into 400. And
both of them, both men's and women's.
And the men's 4 into 400, just on the meme front, is the clip that has been doing the rounds of Indian WhatsApp for some time now, because everybody thinks that's the Olympics. But that was at Budapest last year, where we did it. So in that respect, yes, we did well in Budapest, and hopefully, I mean, we did not medal, but we got into the finals, and hopefully that's something we'll do again this year. And it's a little bit of, maybe we'll cover it more as we get into our final wrap-ups and beyond that. But it's a disappointing year, all things considered. And given the way that we have been investing and some of the sports where we thought you would have some bigger hits did not sadly happen. Fingers crossed for Javelin and Neeraj. But did you have, and maybe now's a good time for us to get into the Vinesh thing, but did you have anything else on the Indian medal hopes that you wanted to?
From the Indian medal hopes, we can talk about a couple of other places where we came very close and could have won. From an Indian medal hopes, no, we have two more wrestlers outside of Aman still in the fray. Can they? Of course, obviously. That's why I'm looking at the semi-finals in the category where Anshu lost the first round today. And if the US wrestler reaches the final, Anshu has a chance to go in the repechage. So there are hopes all around, but we live by those hopes. That's what the fan does. But beyond that, no, the main ones, some have done very good. We talked about 3 women who had the chip on the shoulder and we do very well. Manu Bakar did it. Deepika did not do it. And it came down to Vinesh. We said she will be the first Phogat to win an Olympic medal. And whatever happened, but she actually did her job on day one. Correct? And it's awarded to her or not, and rules being rules. but at least we were there. I'm happy that we contested and competed more this year. So we were in the top 6, top 8, around 20 of the races rather than last year. But we need to do more. Absolutely disappointing from that angle.
Yeah, yeah. We were in the fray much more this year.
Yeah.
Actually, not enough medals, and we may end up less than last year. Probably will. So in that sense, it's backward. But then again, in the sense of, yeah, we are participating, we are being in more places. So that's a good thing. The Vinesh thing, and obviously, and maybe now's the time to get into that. So the thing with Vinesh was, like you said, I mean, there's one way, in one sense, she got a medal. I mean, in our hearts, if not the rules. And I think I forwarded you guys something from last week, from yesterday, the Sports Illustrated thing, their excellent excellent Olympics podcast. And they're all saying, yeah, I mean, it's very unfortunate that she did not medal. The rules make no sense. Rules make no sense, but that's what rules are. So I think we are not questioning that. Unfortunate what happened to her. Even more unfortunate is the broader political, culture wars context in which this happened. Vinesh Phogat was involved in a movement protesting against the head of that the association and perceived crimes that he had committed. It seemed like there was a little bit of a government pushback, and unfortunately, other people got involved in the government pushback. And then, of course, when she did not medal, everybody got a little bit happy about it in some sections. Not everybody. I think true fans, everybody who's a true fan, regret that things came to where it was. It sounded horrible, and even if she did weigh in at the right level, I have no idea how she could have even competed, given that she seems to have spent her entire evening, entire night, just being in the sauna and exercising and everything else just to get the excess weight out. I have no idea how she would have survived in the morning in a gold medal match. All said and done, in our hearts, she was a champion. I'm very regretful of how this is playing out in the Indian WhatsApp circles and Twitter and other social media circles. It's incredibly unfortunate that obviously she's not feeling good about it. And at this point, we are doing a big pylon, not we, but people seem to be doing a big pylon on that. I mean, it seems to be all about rules. And I don't know if you have anything more to add to this. I mean, you had her up as your contender from the beginning, but before we move on, anything more to add on the Vinesh?
No, actually, but just maybe whosoever is listening to us, a humble request. We all are upset that it happened to Vinesh. Just imagine, for us, we will move on in a couple of days. I think a few months from now, it will just be a footnote. Think about Vinesh and the coaching staff. Their career just crashed in front of them. I feel for them. So let's have empathy for all of them and not troll them and accuse them and do conspiracy theories. It couldn't have been harder for Vinesh. So I feel for her in all this. So that is one. From a rules point of view, we have gone through the rules. I shared with you the whole rule book. From that angle, the only way our appeal, there are two parts to they have filed the appeal. There are two parts to it. One, which they accepted because the CAS, the Court of Arbitration, first thing is, have you exhausted every other avenue? And then we will accept. So the only thing they have agreed in the morning today is you have exhausted every other avenue, so we will consider your appeal. So that's a minor win. The other one is the whole contention is day one, nothing wrong happened. She was within the rules and she reached the final. Day two is when she is fouled or outside the guidelines for whatever happens after the weigh-in. So whatever happens before the weigh-in should not count from a penalty point of view. So maybe there's something happens, but as of now, the rules illogical. The person will be disqualified from the from the whole event. And this being a ranking event, she will be placed 16th out of a field of 16. because their ranking points and the world rankings and everything is counted. So let's see. We can only hope, but I'm not putting my hopes behind it because the tragedy is still exists, and this will be discussed. And I hope fans understand that.
That's very, very important. At the end of the day, for us, it's just one thing. And especially for an Indian fan, you're used to not getting medals. Uh, but yes, for her and her staff, and she's announced her retirement. So it's not
Yeah.
like another chance. So, and she knows that there are so many people who are after her. That's the worst part for various reasons. Speaking of rules, the other thing where, again, I have very strong feelings about it is the two women who are competing in boxing and who have unfortunately been the target of other culture wars and trolls because of the charge that they are men. And I'm being very polite here, and the way it has been communicated has been very much there's a Chinese Taipei, aka Taiwanese boxer, and then there is a Algerian boxer. And these are all pretty, especially in Algeria, pretty conservative countries. They are not countries where you can, do whatever you want with your gender identity. And we are talking about two women who've been born as women, carry passports of women as women, and competing as women. In fact, in case of Iman Khalifa, I noticed that the woman who won the Irish woman who won the 53 or the next level, she was lightweight. I think Iman Khalifa is lightweight, but who won the whatever the weight class is above that, Kelly Harrington. She's the one who won the gold this time and retired also. But she's the one who beat her in Tokyo in the quarterfinal stage. Nothing happened at that point. Obviously, at this point, now suddenly all this controversy has erupted. And to make it even more confusing, the IBA, the International Boxing Association, is different from the IOC, which is setting up the rules for this Olympics. Usually in the Olympics, they let the International Federation take care of the rules so that there's no inconsistency. But IBA has been banned because of their association with Russia and general lack of transparency. Again, not unprecedented. This happened last year. And IBA is now become a Russian thing. The head of IBA is a Putin associate who seems to be at this point trolling the IOC in the International Olympic Committee, trolling the IOC, and who have banned under their aegis where the World Championships are held last year, they inexplicably banned both of them, both the boxers, for reasons that they never declared. Now, what has happened, unfortunately, in all this is a lot of big names that I respect, like Martina Navratilova, have weighed in, and of course, a lot of trolls have also weighed in. But it gets into this where people get confused about the rules. The rules are very clear here. And just like the Vinesh thing, logic doesn't matter. It is the rules. Logic means for you and I, Vinesh should get the silver. That's not here. People are saying, oh, but if she was, or both of them were banned in IBA, how come they're playing in the Olympics? Yes, logically, that's a good question. However, there's all of these reasons why they're not. It seems like this Olympics, and maybe this is the first Olympics, and maybe this will keep happening, where the rules are something that we fans and the broader non-fan category of people seem to be fixated on, and they're trying to find out ways of saying how the rules are illegitimate. It seems to me a little bit of a broader thing that we are seeing in our society, in our politics, which is not the focus of this podcast, but in terms of let's call into question how votes are being counted. Let's call into question everything that is happening where we feel there's an establishment which is trying to ram things down on us. I don't know I hope this is not the start of a new trend. I hope this is not how everything where we are not in agreement and we have some kind of an internet power, we're going to now pile on and do these things to say that we are not happy, we will protest. Because if that happens, the Olympics is doomed, or any sporting event is doomed.
So look, my take is very simple. For both of these, Algerian and the Iman and Lin Tu Young for the Taiwanese, and the political links are already there. The ban was done by IBA chief alone without having the board approved by an uncertified lab, saying the chromosome test, which is not an approved test by IOC or anybody, even IBA had never approved it before that.
New
The
thing.
approved test, it was a testosterone test. So whatever happened, the only thing IOC, there was a lot of things going on. It became a war between IOC and IBA, and everybody says we are right. My only request to everybody, if you don't disagree, it's fair. You may have a different opinion. Don't assume facts which are not existing. So disagree and say the IOC should, and they should, within the rules, do the testosterone test. And for biologically born women to see whether they are in the guidelines or not, there is a very clear Olympic guideline for that. Okay, we had the Castor Semenya before that, and even the Indian girl, which
Right?
Duti Chand. So we had those cases. The rules are in place. But just jumping to a conclusion is something which I don't agree with. And then based on that, troll people, we don't know what hardships they have come with. Specifically the Algerian woman, has come from a middle to low middle class family, lot of hardships in doing boxing in a very conservative society.
Same with
People were against that.
Same with Duti Chand. She also
Even Duti Chand. Think about the Algerian boxer. 4 years back when she lost, nobody cared. Now she is winning, so we are care. So suddenly in 4 years something happened. I don't know. So that's a sad part of what is going on. Let's quickly move to other topic if you don't mind, because I'm looking at the time.
My soapbox is over. Let's go.
Okay, so quick wrap of few thoughts outside of India in general Olympics. Tennis. First of all, we mentioned Djokovic. Djokovic has become the third male tennis player to win the career Golden Slam now. Yeah. Other two being, say it again.
What the other two?
Agassi and Nadal. People don't say Agassi actually. They don't realize Agassi. But Agassi is I think the same time when Leander Paes won the bronze, Agassi won the gold, if I remember right, because he lost to Agassi in the semi-final matchup. So that is true. Outside of Steffi, who has the calendar Grand Slam, and Serena on the career on the women's side. Serena actually has doubles and singles career Golden Slam now. That is awesome. That is one thing. Mijain Lopez Nunez, we talked about the Cuban Greco-Roman wrestler. 5 Olympics in a row, 40 plus guy, 5 individual golds. First ever in Summer Olympics. I use the word Summer Olympics because one of my favorite athletes in the Winter Olympics has done it in speed skating, Irene Wust from Holland. Netherlands. She is a joy to watch. When she skates, it's a music, the way she skates around the track. So that is awesome thing.
One quick thing about the Cuban wrestler, I think his nickname is El Terrible.
Yes, his name is.
And did you know how he left his? I mean, this is a well-known gesture. He left his shoes on the mat to show that he's retired.
He's retired. He left his shoes on the mat. Yes, and from a great gestures point of view, how about Simone Biles bowing on the podium along with Jordan Childs to a great competitor, Rebecca Andrade, correct? That shows she was the favorite to win. She lost, but she also knows how much hard work Rebecca has put in over the years, and they respect each other. They are not competitors. They are competitors, but they are not enemies. Let's put it this way. So they understand. I choked up seeing that. I said, wow, what a gesture. That's Olympic spirit. That's what a gracious loser is supposed to be, rather than complaining and all. That was awesome.
That set LinkedIn on fire, by the way.
Yes, that turned LinkedIn on fire. And the last thing, we see overall medal tally, and the last topic should be medal tally. China and US are neck to neck. They change literally positions every day. Overall medals, US will easily win, but it's a gold which matters from a ranking point of view. Only 1 or 2 apart right now. The biggest portion of it is swimming. US ended up with 28 swimming medals. Last time they did 30. almost same, but last time they won 15 gold, this time only 8 gold. And China has 2 golds. China is coming to swimming. And coming back to tennis, China led the tennis medal table. Led the medal table.
God.
Think about Spain and Serbia and US and everybody. They led the medal table in tennis alone.
I feel China's a little bit like India in the way that we also look at it. They don't have a big impact in the Grand Slam thing.
Yes.
They're really good.
They do something. Yes, we can talk about the swimmers and what they do and the controversy behind it, and there may be some truth to it, but again, I don't want to jump to facts because I don't see the facts. But their play in tennis, which is on the court, is very clearly obvious. You can see what they are doing. So that has stood out for me, and there are a lot of other cool moments coming up. The 11-year-old girl, I only watch breaking. Not a big fan of that as a sport, only because I wanted to see the 11-year-old girl play, and 30 years later we can say we saw 11-year-old in Olympics. So that was a cool moment. She was not competing, not a contender per se, but very cool to see her board.
Speaking of skate, you saw, I think.
She actually saw not breaking. That was skateboarding. Sorry, my bad.
Speaking of skateboarding, you saw this guy. I was watching the highlights yesterday. Keegan Thomas, I think he's this. I think he now plays for Australia. He competes for Australia, but he's an American kid. So many of them Americans were playing for other countries. But he was 17-year-old or 18 years old at Tokyo, and he won the gold then. And we were all like, "Whoa, the guy's so young." I mean, he was again back in the medals, and the fact that such a young guy is there, it's just amazing. He's 20 or 21 now, but what a champion.
And I have a ending thought. You go ahead.
So the other things were just general, the big marquee matches. Wow, the athletics. I thought the 1500 meters, I thought Josh Kerr had it sewed up, and Ingebrigtsen. But man, what a last minute rush by Hawker. Man, that's amazing. Watching how some of these runners are coming in from the back in these distance ones. You're not talking about a 10-second 100-meter race or a 20-second 200-meter race. This is long distance. You are conserving your energy right at the end to give that. And if you look at the last frame, it almost looks like a sprint that is going on.
Yeah.
In that, and same, you could even make the case with the Olympics also. Sorry, in swimming also, that it's almost like that when you have the swimmers are doing that. So yeah, so that was something. I mean, the 1500 meters particularly stood out, but even the 400 was great yesterday. And I thought Gabby Thomas, the 200 meters was a little bit weird, right?
It was weird.
Talk about.
Yeah, that was actually wanted to say as a passing thought, because I want to.
Go ahead. I mean,
I wanted to warn all, because if Indian parents are watching this and Indian kids are watching this, be careful. Now, Indian parents want their kids to go to the best colleges possible. So Gabby Thomas went to Harvard. And if they think that is enough. Huh?
Small college no one has heard of.
Yes, Harvard. And then she got into neurobiology in Harvard. Not an easy course. And then on top of it, last Olympics, she won a silver and bronze. This Olympic, she wins gold. So Indian kids going to Harvard is not enough. You have to win a gold medal too.
Exactly.
So, man, what a lady she is. What a phenomenal lady.
Did you hear her interview afterwards? She is so well spoken.
She is well spoken.
Speaks almost like a PhD student.
Yeah, she has finished her master's in epidemiology.
Yeah.
Think about and how topical of that. She finished her master's last year in the COVID world on epidemiology. So she will be in the thick of things as we go forward in the life now.
Imagine, like, you think that getting a gold in 200 is the pinnacle of her career, but no.
No, her career is just starting, man.
Incredible. So I was a little bit surprised at the lineup for the 200, because some of our favorite names were missing from that, right?
Sharika was missing. So we called 2 world record. We said there will be 2 world records broken. Sharika missed out, but the other one happened, Mondo Duplantis, which you still believe should be given to USA and not Sweden. but he broke the world record.
But it's quite funny as to how many of these gold medal winning phenoms, Mondo obviously, but even our the French swimmer uh,
Marchand.
Marchand, Leon Marchand, all and so many others that training in the US. I mean, not that
Yep.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's good. I mean,
Yep.
elite athletes training with each other makes everyone better.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have to say, I mean, US at the end of the day is still a powerhouse, whether they're winning medals or not. They have the system. And I'm hoping that India is able to take advantage of some of these things, make that good system, have that. I mean, I think that hunger is there in people. People want to see their athletes succeed. They feel that their athletes should be able to compete at the, I mean, athletes, I'm using it in the broadest term, the sports people should be able to compete at the highest level. And that's a good thing. And I think once this starts coming in and that kind of attitude starts coming in the people, and they're not just happy, as long as they feel that that is what it is and that's what we should be, and hopefully we are going to see the generational changes little by little in our case. Just how.
Absolutely. Agreed, 100%.
Well, with that, it's a wrap. I'm traveling next few days. You are out. You're also out traveling. We will have our post-game wrap-up. And this is the last one live during the Olympics. Next one will be after the Olympics at some point, middle of next
All
year.
the best to Aman Sehrawat. In 30 minutes, he is getting on the mat.
And all the best to Neeraj Chopra too. All right.
Yep. Take care.
Yeah, bye.